Welcome to Thursday. We promised earlier in the week that we're going to give you 2 sets of qualifying, and that is what you are about to get. We are here with the zero spend account, free to play, giving you probably the closest racing that you probably have on track with these videos. Now, we're going to get this party on the road. Just to bring you up to speed, last week we didn't qualify in Contender for the final round. We did get through in the week, couldn't get through opening round by around 20 points, and now we are set, ready to race again, and we're going to go for it again in Contender. Let's go and enter our GP, and then we'll show you what we're running. I mean, I could enter Champions. I think I would get destroyed. So we're going to go Contender. Recommended team score above 1,000. We're just short of that figure. So let's enter. 2.5 million coins now because the entry fee lowered. And we know our first race is tyre management and power unit. So let's go set up. We want to go to that one. And we want to go for... I am going to use Ocon just because he's boosted. He's going to get a bad qualifying, but hopefully he'll be okay. The car has some upgrades available, but as you can see, upgrades are costly. 13 million, 20 million. So at this point, we are not going to be using them because they cost, yeah, as you can see, a lot in the end. So that's what we're going to be running for this first race. Boost-wise, we need something tyre management and power unit. So if we look down our list on here, I don't have... I mean, I could use Instinct as one of the free boosts. If we look round, Iron Force is going to be our best one. That is what we want to use in this race number 1. So let's get on with it. Let's get Contender. Let's watch us struggle in Contender. Race number 1 from Silverstone is up next. So off to race number 1. Silverstone is calling for our free-to-play account, and we're going to try and see how many points we score in Contender. Now, we know Ocon has got a bad qualifying. Expect him to struggle in the opening lap, but hopefully we can bring him through. Lag again, which is weird today. It is a bit of a struggle. So, let's see. I mean, I don't know if I've got the pace to be able to do what I want here, but we're going to go on to Iron Force. I'm going to try and get enough laps, see if we can do a 3 and a 4, and see if it works. But let's see. I mean, there's only one way to find out. Can we run the strategies? We know we were going to get a bad start. It's all about later in this race, and starting P23 and P24... we are the underdog early on. But I tell you what, Ocon has got a nice start in the end. He's going round the outside, and look at him go. Esteban Ocon down the straight. He is already showing his worth. Alpine, why are you getting rid of him? He's up to P4. And here comes Valtteri Bottas now into P16. So what we're going to do is actually just reduce, because we need to try and get 4 laps from Ocon. We need to try and get 3 laps from Valtteri Bottas. We should be able to do that, though, with the drivers by looking at their current percentages. Bottas, final corners of that famous Lewis Hamilton overtake, and he's in P15. Still got to use a bit of power unit, I feel, for Valtteri. We need to try and get him past as the McLaren goes up the inside, slows us down. We're in a chance with Ocon at the moment. Bottas needs to get a move on. P14. He'll be coming back for some mediums at the end. Might even be hards. I feel like I might need some attacking power unit, because Ocon is only just getting what he needs. Bottas, can we move forward again? As we've completely froze, but we're back. P13. And I think I'm going to have to go hards here. Don't trust the mediums. But can he find a way past? Early struggles. Need a good move here on Norris. And the Ferrari would be even better. Round the outside. Can't get the job done. He's got to settle still for P12. Hopefully a little bit of gaining of ground later on. I mean, look at Ocon's power unit. He'll be coming back for a full attack on mediums a little bit later on as he comes round. Bottas is coming into the pits, though, from P13. Not a great race so far for Valtteri. Ocon is in P2. He's flying. Bottas, can he get ahead of the rival? Yes, he can. P17 with a lot of work to do. Yuki Tsunoda leaving a big gap for a small guy. And we're trying to take advantage. And we can. P16 now for Valtteri. Ocon's about to come in the pits, holding up a few cars. Doing the job nicely. And he's going to come in. And he's got a nice train behind him, which could help Bottas catch up. Teamwork makes the dream work here in Silverstone. Bottas is slow on these tyres though. And now Ocon can have an absolute field day. And all the enjoyment he wants as he'll go attacking for the final part of this race. Bottas P9. He has moved up. Need that power unit back though. And Ocon can tear away now. And Bottas has got pace. In that car, on the hards. No warm-up issues today, ladies and gentlemen. He has managed to catch some players up. Not very quickly, though, I must say. Albon still to pit out front. Everybody is on hard tyres. Apart from Albon, who Ocon now dispatches. And Bottas sets himself on Checo in P8. Can Ocon get some points here? Here is Bottas as he exits and sets himself up for the straight. Can he get a move? Power unit just gone at the wrong time. Leaves us standing in P9. But Albon is going to pit. So we can gain that position. Hard's just a little bit too slow on our car. We were so close to taking potentially 2 positions. Ocon is into P2 now. We're not going to get P1. Albon's already out ahead as well. So Bottas might have to settle for what could be just the P9 today in Silverstone. Out of the corner. And a good chance of overtaking here if he can get the job done. Inside line or outside. And he still can't get through. Overtaking is tough today. Still can't get past. But Ocon is going to come home in a very nice P2. Well done, Esteban Ocon, for a great race. Bottas rounds the final few corners. Ocon ahead of him is going to sneak an extra place. He's going to get into P8. And I tell you what, we'll take 40 points. It could have been more, but at the end of the day, we've got to take the points that we've got. 40 points with Valtteri Bottas for the rival and Hamilton for the rival, coming home in a respective 20 and 22nd. But good job, race 1. We will show you what the rival was running before we get into race number 2 to give you a bit of clarity. 8 points for the rival. 964 team score for us. And you can see we had level 2 and level 2. And the car, cornering, they needed the power unit. Wow, big team score compared to ours. Nearly 100 above us at 1057, I think it was. So what we're expecting here is all the AI to pit on lap number 3. This is going to be probably our toughest race yet on this account. Look at the qualifying. We are not cut out too much for this track, are we? We're going to use a bit of timeless for race start and speed. And that's all we can really do is hope for the best here in Spa. Now you can undercut on this track by doing a 2-2-2, but it's going to be so much slower for us. And it's not really worth doing at this stage. But I tell you what, Bottas into turn 1 slows down. And it's P20 off the start. P21 for Esteban Ocon. They haven't got the best start in the world. I think a lot of players are going to struggle at this circuit when you enter your qualifying round if you haven't already. So we're going to have to see what we can do. Can we get Bottas through? Can we get Ocon through? We've currently got Logan Sargent ahead of us now as we peel to the left as on track, and we're up to P19, and that's going to get a little bit better up to P18 with Magnussen ahead. Kevin has been dispatched. P17. Now we're going to just leave a little bit of a gap between the two cars as we head into the final corner, just to try and create a bit of a gap. P16 now. Be a nice move on any other car if we can get it. We can't just yet. Ocon, P19. Cut down on the straight again in Spa. As long as you've got speed set up, you should be fine. And move it back up as you approach the end of it. There's Danny Rick, who is struggling a little bit out there. And we're going to try and make a move, but not available just yet then. Can we get the same job done on him? Trying to poke the nose through. And now we can, up to P15. Few slower cars out here as we get past Alonso. And Ocon, only P18 still. Tyres are okay. Power unit, not so much. As Bottas, we continue to push. And there's a move. Pass 2, pass 3. Yes, Bottas, that's what we needed. We needed some extra moves. And we are in to P11. Got P10 ahead of us. Oh, just trying to get past there. And now we're past. Dive bomb. P10, that's how you do it. We've got Ocon P18 still. It's going to be chaos in the pits. We told you everybody tends to pit lap 3. There'll only be a couple at the back, even one driver who goes to do a 2-2-2. But Bottas is looking good. There's Esteban Ocon in P16. So still chances of points here. We've managed to move up nicely so far. Can we continue? No double stacking. Beautiful. P10, same place. Comes back out. Was P19 originally for Ocon. He's going to move himself up 4 places because of the double stacking in the pits. Now, hopefully everybody is going to go ahead and slow each other down as they group up. And we can just save some power unit and be very quick at the end of this race. We are closing on a few cars. Let's see if we can just get past Bottas with Ocon. That would be a nice move to get. There's a few cars here. And we can get one. Can we get through this pack? No, not quite. So P10, P14, moving up again. We need to get through though. P13 and P12 are going to help us delay us basically. We need a move quickly. Can we get Bottas? Yes, we can. And we're up to P10, P13. Got to keep pushing though when we can. Just try and save for the attack zones. As mentioned in your strategy guide, we tell you where to push and where you to conserve. We've got Ocon closing gaps. Bottas up to P9 and P8 for Ocon. And Bottas coming both through. Ocon P13, sorry. Bottas was the one who made the moves. Round the outside on George Russell. But no gap was left. He has to stay in P13. Not too many places now available with the spread of the field. What about Ocon? George Russell defending hard. Can't defend enough. Esteban Ocon is up to P12. There's a Red Bull ahead of us. There's a McLaren ahead of us. Any chance of 2 more points, please? Here in Spa. We are closing on Sergio. Can we dive bomb it? Can we make a move? I think we're just going to run out of power unit on both cars to be able to have an attack. Bottas might have to settle for P8 here. We are just conserving. Now we're going to hit the push button. See if we can dive. Going to be too far away though. And it is going to be P7 on the line. Getting past. Ocon is going to round the final corner in P12. And I tell you what, I will take that. 31 points in contender on the free-to-play account at a very difficult track. That, my friends, is job done. And let's see what we're up against, because that was a tough matchup. We battled well. A race of battling pretty much is every race. 964, 1057, just under 100. 6 Piastri and 4 Bottas. And again, we had more speed. That's what we needed. Setup rules every time. So here we go then, on to race number 3. And we are looking to continue the good form. It's a race start and speed track again is Vegas, so similar to Spa. And we've got the same setup and the same drivers for us to use. Now in race 3, we're going to hope that we can get away nicely. Let's look where we qualify. It has been at the back. Bottas moves himself up to P19. We are going to go and try and do 3 mediums. We're going to go on to the timeless boost yet again because we've got some spare. And let's see how many points we get. You saw us struggle yesterday on this circuit with Lewis Hamilton. Can we get away a lot better? Straight into the back of the kick Sauber for Ocon. It seems whoever starts at that position does not get away well. Bottas up to P15 off the start. Esteban Ocon sitting there in P22 as Bottas goes round the outside and we make some ground. Piastri currently now behind us, so good start for Bottas again here, carrying the team a little bit, and he's going to get past 2 cars here, potentially, not quite. Has to push back down. Ocon is up to P19 though, so we have moved forward with our cars, and we're going to try again here, into P11 for Bottas, and into P18 for Ocon. Down the straight we conserve every time, get some of that power unit back so that you can attack, and then move up before the end of the straight, so that you can try and make a position. Now our game's crashed, but the game's so jolty today. We're going to try and hang in there though. P17 and P11. Danny Rick with the defence, and we're now through into P10. Got to watch the tyres a little bit here as we get into P16 and 15. So we're good ground, good ground. Not sure if I want to go mediums or hards yet, but I tell you what, Ocon now into P14. Aston Martin of Alonso trying to move on the Alpine. Cannot get through. As we close up all the time on the Aston Martin. Can we move past? Yes, we can. P9. I think we might be okay to do the mediums twice here. We've got Ocon ahead of us, who we're going to try and now dive bomb. And we're going to dive bomb successfully. P8 for Bottas. Ocon, double RB car ahead of us. Cannot get past at the moment. Few cars in the pits as well. Mediums for Ocon. Can he get past Yuki? No, he can't at the moment. Has to settle back down. P5, P4 for Bottas. And he's got P3 right ahead of him too. Good work. Ocon struggling to make any moves currently. But he's up to P11 as we say it. He's gone past. And there's Gasly in P3. So, oh, he's up to P3. Bottas is a man on a mission. And he is P3, P11 then. That is what we needed. Now we're motoring along. Just catching the cars ahead. As you can see, there's 4 of them in a line. Bottas pits. Slow pit stop, remember. That's why I'm not pushing Ocon too much here. Bottas very slowly into the pits. And he's out before Ocon comes in. Beautiful. P6. Now turns into P7. That is good for us. That is what we need. Ocon P12. Again, just going to try. Save that power unit down the straight. We're catching the Alpine. And then we're going to push out the corner. See if we can overtake through this section for Ocon. And we go side by side. Can't get that job done. And still we can't get the job done. Where can we go in this race? Can we get any higher? Can we do a job? Conserve again down. If you can't overtake, make sure to conserve. And that is what we do all the time as Bottas closes up. Coming to the end of the straight now. Let's push Ocon. And we're past. P11. We are flying. Can we get the cars into the top 10? That would be nice. We're not running too bad here. Bottas has got a good power unit to use to gain some positions on track. We're going to try and close up Ocon as well. Perez, the next target. Just can't get through. Checo is the sandwich, the wall block at the moment. And Albon springs one up the inside. Can't get through. Still, we're stuck behind Perez. Can we now get past as we approach the corner? Try in. Can't get through. Let's leave him on push for a moment. Hopefully some pit stops. Checo pits. And there's a Norris in the pits as well. That's going to move us up onto the podium. P3, Valtteri Bottas. Ocon, currently P9. Can we get any more positions? Can Ocon get past Gasly? The old famous rivalry that happens in F1 now. P2 is not going to be able to go. No, can't catch that one. We're in danger though. Going to be a good race here. There is Gasly. Ocon v Gasly, final corner, lap 6 at Vegas. How is this one going to play out? As we come down the straight, Ocon moves to the left. Gasly holds middle. Ocon goes for it. And Ocon is through into P8. And for the free-to-play account, it means a solid points haul finish. 22 points for Valtteri Bottas. Esteban Ocon comes over and scores 17. And that brings us 39 points. That is a good return of racing. P3 and P8, we've absolutely dispatched the rival who started the similar positions. They are coming home in what looks to be P20 and P23 very slowly at this Vegas circuit. But we'll cross back to the summary screen as we approach the finish. And that is another decent race here. 3 happy races, I'm going to say. So far, so good. As they do finally come across the line. 39 points in the bag. 7 points for the rival bot, that was all. And you can see Bottas 3 points, and the car was just not set up correctly for this Vegas circuit. So a quick matchup for the final race. It's a real player with a 1-0-4-2 team score versus 970 in Spain. And it needs one of these. But let's see. I mean, I'm a bit stuck for boosts here. I'm going to have to use downforce, which is the free boost. Now, I'm not too sure on if I can manage 5 mediums with that downforce boost. I'm going to try and see if it is possible. I'm going to go downforce on both. And we'll go hards. This is all guesswork again. And the reason I do say it's guesswork is generally because I'm so used to playing my main account that when I do cross over to the free-to-play account, it's a little bit more difficult to try and get used to, whereas you players who have got one account will know pretty much what your drivers can do. But we're away and racing, P16, P17. We've made a fairly decent start, and that is what the start you can usually get at Spain. You usually do get that good start. Valtteri Bottas is currently in P10. You can see he's used all his power unit, and he's up to P8. We need 20% a lap to be able to do 5 laps. Bottas, you can see, just under that, but he has been pushing for this whole lap 1. Let's see what the rival strategy is, though. Let's see the car setup that they've got, because it looks a little bit slower at the moment. Might not. I don't think it is a cornering setup for the rival, and that is why is a breakdown for Gasly sees us on the back of Alonso trying to make a move. We're probably only going to get 4 mediums out of this. I would say we are definitely going to get 4 mediums. Ocon will get 5 hards. So it's going to be a 4 medium, 5 hard for Bottas. As we go down the straight. It's going to be a 5 hard, 4 medium for Esteban. And Bottas is doing well here. He's up to P5. Great, great news for us. Can he get through though? He's right on the back. Ocon looking at a move here. Rivals going backwards with that car setup. As Bottas is into P4. Coming around the final few corners. Got Leclerc ahead. For his 4 laps. He'll come back for hard tyres. There's a few pit stops as well. Moving into P3 is Valtteri Bottas. And that is setting up nicely. Trying to attack with him as well. Trying to get him up to P2. Go on, Valtteri. Reliving the Merc days. And Williams at one point. When they suddenly got towards the front again. But Ocon is in P9. Valtteri P2. No power unit for Valtteri. That's a problem. But he's into the pits. Dive bomb from Ocon. Can't get past. But there's going to be pit stops for quite a few cars here. As we enter the home straight again. Mediums coming back. Valtteri Bottas sees himself come out in P7. And up to P6 he goes. P5 now. Brilliant point scoring. P3 for Ocon. Oh, I'm loving it at the minute here. In Spain. This is fantastic. We're pushing as hard as we can to put a good points haul together in this contender. Ocon pits from P3. P2 is in as well. That means we are now P2 with Verstappen 8 seconds up the road on hard tyres. No power unit left for Ocon, but he comes out in P12 and now into P11. So we're in an okay position. That gap was 8 seconds shortly ago. It's now 6.5. Gap is coming down to the leader. It should come down all the time. Ocon into P9. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we got this. 6.2 the gap. Just pushing as much as we can. As Ocon moves himself into P8. Still got 2 laps to go though after this one. Plenty of time to cause an upset. Still got to catch the Red Bull if we want to take a P1. Still got to get past Fernando Alonso if we want P7. And we do get P7 now. Out of turn 1, we push now with Valtteri Bottas just coming through. 4.2 seconds is the gap. Ocon moves himself up to P4. Great racing. P3 is possible. 3.7 now. We're flying. We're catching. But can we catch quick enough? In a little bit of traffic, potentially the Red Bull 2. As Ocon moves into P3. This is beautiful point scoring so far. Don't think we're going to catch the Red Bull out front. Haven't got the pace in the power unit to be able to reflect our true pace. We're trying to close all the time though. Ocon's going to come home on the podium here in P3. The gap down to 2.5 seconds. Not going to be quick enough, I'm afraid. And it's going to be agonisingly close, really, when we think about it, because there is the Red Bull, just Max Verstappen holding on. 2.5, 2.3 seconds as Bottas crosses the line for P2. Esteban Ocon coming home in P3. And that is, I'm going to say, a brilliant round on this free-to-play account. Exactly what the doctor ordered when it came to racing on this Thursday and getting the points that we needed for when you see this video. That is a job well done. Rival P14 and P15. Let's go. Setup was key. Team score was bigger, but we managed it beautifully. We await for it to complete. I mean, the rival hasn't been lapped, so maybe a bit of lag just slowing it down of completion. But what a round on the free-to-play, I'm going to say. 45 points in Spain. That is beautiful. And we're going to see now how we qualify. Can we make it through? Hopefully. Good win there. 104.2. I'm expecting this rival will not have cornering setup. Drivers, pretty decent. And the car, not as strong. One for a balanced setup. You need all-out cornering every time on these races when it is a cornering track. So let's have a look. And at the moment, we sit in P3. Didn't score as much as last week. We had some difficult races. And now we've got a reboot, which is annoying. Don't know what they're changing, but they're changing something. Maybe the lag, potentially. Okay, now we're rebooting again. Come on, Hutch, sort it out. Okay, now it's completely broke. So on that note then, the free-to-play account, 155 points I think it was, and we did okay. I'm happy with that. It's completely down. So it is what it is. When Hutch hit the reboot, someone put some 50p's in the meter. But it was great racing. Enjoyed that on the free-to-play. Hopefully we make it through. And hopefully we have a contender racing for the weekend. Good luck. And let's see how we get on.